Like I'm starting over constantly with this. I have filmed so much content that, immediately I decided, or 2 days later decided I wasn't going to post it because I already deemed it unworthy. And, I'm just thinking, God, how worthy does it have to be on YouTube? Like, no offense, but there's a lot out there, you know? Why not me? Why not? And I guess that's been the big question is why not? And really, the main reason is I haven't done anything about it. So that's why not. I need to explain my hair. I feel like it's a thing because it looks like I really styled it like this just to sit in my house in sweatpants. And I didn't. I just have curly hair. And in my defense, I had a meltdown. I cut my own hair, as one does. And because I wanted to stop having like color treated brown hair at the ends of all of this gray and white hair that's all up underneath, right? So one night at about midnight, I just like go in the bathroom and kind of cut because I actually would have hair all here, like all of this that's like just the side of my face right now, that would all be hair if I had not decided that I needed to like start cutting sideburns on myself at midnight. And then I just cut off like all this hair like Edward Scissorhands in the bathroom, just kind of getting after it like this. And then I went to a hairstylist and was like, hey, so here's what I did, here's why I did it. She actually wasn't too hard on me and was like, you did a pretty good job. Like, honestly, I see what you're doing. And I was like, I was afraid to touch the back. Thank God. So it looked kind of stupid, but she went through and fixed it. However, I always look like a senatorial candidate right now, or like I'm doing laundry. There's no in between. And right now it's giving like, with the right outfit, it's very, I could file someone's taxes or, cut a ribbon cutting. That'd be honestly perfect. This is my ribbon cutting hair. And these are my readers. Just to really give it full attention. This is it. Librarian. So, what am I doing here? Great question. I almost forgot what I'm doing here. I have been talking about this for 2 years. I launched it in a really messy, shitty way that I regretted. Mostly because my boss saw it. And I wasn't proud of it, but I was kind of shaming myself with it anyway. And thinking like, no, you're going to leave it up there until you make something better. Like I was punishing myself just with shame because I was being mocked for it openly by people that I care about. And man, it's a lonely road out here. And literally no one even, I have not posted anything and there's not one view. And everyone who knows about this is either slightly concerned or deeply concerned, or is kind of like, it might work, but I'm not saying that out loud too loud until it works. Which I get. Nobody wants to back a losing horse, Ugh, that's the worst. Uh, so I have just been stressing myself out with unworthiness of like, what should I say? How should I say it? How's it going to come across? What's it going to look like? What should I wear? Are the lights going to be perfect? Should I do it here? Should I do it there? Should I do it over there? I just really bad mental fatigue going on with the whole idea of like, how do you launch this baby into the world, and what are you going to put on it, and what are you going to name it, and just all of those things. And having the courage to do it just completely alone has been awful. Like, I hate it. I like having a team, I like collaborating. What do you think? Should we do it like this? I like it like that. Even if I know I'm right, I still like the validation of other people around me being like, yeah, that's it. That's it. Or being able to execute for me an idea that I have, where I'm like, okay, this is how I want it to look. I want it to be like this. And then the next thing you know, someone with the right talent can produce it. I love that too. So being in my house in this bedroom with 2 lights and my iPhone and a bunch of random furniture that I have just collected over the years, and my own thoughts and my inner thoughts being so mean sometimes that I didn't really know where to begin. Because the point of this is, if I were to really sum it up into one thing, it would be to give other people the benefit of my experience. That is what I want this whole podcast to be about. Not just mine, but other people's. So I want to have guests. I want to have conversations, because ultimately I want that from other people. I want that conversation. I'm kind of a go for a walk with me kind of person. And so that is what this really is about. And one thing that I've struggled to do, and I hate to admit this, and I'm fighting this shirt so much, I need to just be still, but it's really difficult. I'm gonna hold the rock. So one thing that I've really struggled to do is let go completely of some old patterns that were really holding me back. And things started changing in my life rapidly, and honestly felt like magically this year, absolutely magically. And I have been struggling to believe it, and occasionally slipping back into a little bit of an old mindset that might say, don't get too happy, don't get too comfortable, don't get too happy, don't let your guard down for a second. That mentality is what I lived in for a very long time. Possibly in my entire life. So, we should really look into that. I was always lurking. I need to watch this and see if it looks bad before I just talk for like 5 hours. I'm thinking about how everybody likes to bet on a sure thing. If you could know the outcome, of course, decisions would all be so easy. Everything would be so easy. But betting on yourself, it's really not a choice. And I guess it is. You don't have to. but you're the horse you were given. You know, you're in that race whether you want to be or not. And what you do with it is up to you. You know, I haven't always made the best, you know, turns because I don't feel like I'm a racehorse. I've always compared myself like at work to like a quarter horse, making like really sharp turns and fast sprints and getting to the end of the line, you know. If it was a baseball team, I'd play like shortstop, you know, but if it's an actual sport, don't count me in. I'm not I'm not on the team for that. The pressure of doing athletic things in front of people is too much for me. I cannot. I will not and I cannot. I shouldn't and I don't. So if you just want to see like the worst possible side of me that also panics in shame under public humiliation, I'm your girl. Put me on the team. You know what? I'll bring back dodgeball. Like, I the last time I played dodgeball, the last time in my life that I played dodgeball, because I don't ever want to relive it. Like, I was doing good, okay? I was like, thank God I've been running, you know, everyone on the team is already friends. I had started a new job and they asked me to be a fill-in for someone who couldn't go. And I was just like, oh God, please. Anything but this, you know, anything but this. So I say yes because I'm just like, how bad can it be? How bad can it be? It's kickball. Okay. Much worse than I thought. So much worse than I thought. I was like, this is kind of like legit. These people are serious about this. Oh no. And so then I start telling people like, I have never played this. I don't know how. It looks a little baseball-y, which I fundamentally, low-key, kind of understand. I know which direction they go. And yeah, you need to get all the way, you need to go all the way around. Okay. So, but yeah, I'm like, okay, sure. So, I've run the bases successfully and actually get a point. Okay, I'm not ashamed of myself. The next run, I am like out pretty early. By the third one, I'm kind of winded because I'm giving it everything I have. Because if I can do anything, it is sprint from base to base. Like, am I going to look at the ball anymore? No. Do I know what's happening anymore? No. Am I going to run as fast as I can? Yes. Is it fast enough? No. Because I'm playing with like 24-year-old men and I'm 30, which is very different. Okay? Like, it's very different. I had a child. I was like, oh, man. Since I moved here, I really have not been working out like I thought. Ooh, about 3 weeks of getting back to it just didn't quite get me there. And so I take a dodgeball just to the face, like boom, like sunglasses go flying, like dodgeball. It doesn't just like hit and bounce. It like rolls and like imprints my face on the way down. And to say I was demoralized was beyond, because I'm a vain person. I'm a competitive person. I like to win. I like to look good. I like for everything to be perfect, and I can't help that. So if you challenge me in that way, like, I'm probably just gonna say no. No. Like, if it's all important, no. You know? So yeah, I don't do that. But yeah, I'd be a quarter horse at work. That's more my speed, I would get bored of the long, just run in a circle. No, constant being petted and looked at. Like, no. That doesn't seem like the life of a quarter horse to me, in my perception. I could be wrong. But racehorses, solid volume. Yeah, so you have to back yourself. You absolutely have to bet on yourself. Because no one else is going to come through for you like you will. And it's not to say that people don't come through for you in just absolutely insane and miraculous ways, because they do. But when it usually happens is when you are already coming through for yourself. You are putting in the work. You are making changes that will point you in the direction of the life that you want. And that is what has just been my ultimate focus this year, is to really get it going for myself. Because what is the point of having big dreams and then disappointing yourself because you never did any of it? You didn't do any of it. You did some of it, but you didn't do the part that was just for you, that was special to you in a way that can only satisfy your soul. If you don't give yourself any of that, then all the rest of it's a lot harder, because you need to cultivate skills that maybe aren't your strongest suit. You need to care more about other people's interests than your own, always. There's a lot to it, but it is a safe bet. It's a continual return, and I have benefited greatly in my life for being on other people's teams, especially the one I'm on now. I love it, and I have a beautiful life already, and so it feels kind of audacious to be like always wanting more, but the amount of more that I want is crazy. And it's not all just like stuff, I have some beautiful things. And everybody always wants better stuff, But it's really about the freedom. I want to give myself freedom that I've never experienced in some way. And so this may not work. This may not be it, but there is something to be said for taking time and stopping and saying, like, I'm going to do something. Like, I'm going to do something for myself. Because the people that I respect the most in this world, and especially one, you know who you are, he's built it for himself. Like, this beautiful life that right now I'm living inside of, and will for the foreseeable future. I love my job so much. Let's don't get it twisted at all. And I have big plans and strategies and executions there too. So let's don't worry. But this is just me opening myself up to the magic of the possibility that something else could happen. I was even like, you know what? Of course I'm going to get married for a third time. Like, duh. Like, surely someone's going to fall in love with me. Like, I'm amazing. I'm going to keep working on myself, okay? I promise you that. I'm going to keep working on myself. This is my daughter's rock. I love rocks. I work in the jewelry industry. I love it. There's a lot to love about it. It's beautiful. magical, science, finance, all kinds of things that go behind it, alchemy, chemistry, just everything, art, and billions of years of production in the ground that comes to Earth. It's incredible. So, yeah, that's a little bit about me. I'm going to talk on this podcast about a wide range of topics. So, rocks, my family. I have all these bookshelves over here of kind of artifacts, if you will, from my childhood, and some pictures and different things that I'm going to talk about what's going on and give a little bit of visual context to some of the crazy that I'm going to eventually tell y'all or tell someone. I have this chair. It is here, ready, waiting for someone to come and talk to me. I'm not really sure how to go about getting people interested in coming here to talk to me. I'm not sure if this is going to work, like just talking to myself until someone's like, hey, I'll come sit in your chair. I'll talk to you for a while. Or do you just start reaching out like a crazy person, like, hey, do you want to come on my podcast? Hey, do you want to come on my podcast? Do you want to come on my podcast? I don't know. This has been really alienating, honestly, because I think people are afraid of it. People are afraid of people changing. And I think people are afraid of me looking stupid. And I'm like, I don't know that if it's like real and vulnerable and it makes me look kind of stupid, well, do with that what you will as well. Because, my contribution is going to be different than yours. And my opinion that's all it is. And I just have felt like it's worth a little bit more than some because of the experience behind it. And it doesn't mean that it's ultimately worth more because, man, I have not done this perfectly at all. I've not done anything perfectly. I'm not doing this perfectly. And it's a huge disappointment to me too, just so you know, like, huge disappointment. However, I hope it's entertaining. I hope maybe you learn something or you think like, oh man, I was about to do something just like that and she's telling me it's completely whack. Maybe I won't. That would be good. I'd be really happy with that. I want to be known and loved, but known, mostly known. And because this has already kind of made some people sort of hate me and I don't even have anything posted, I was like, maybe somebody else though is going to kind of love it. That's a possibility. So, because hate's a strong emotion. It's a really strong emotion. And it's really close to love. And honestly, only somebody who kind of loved you can really hate you. Is that true? No, probably not. I can just regular hate people too. But hating somebody you used to love it's different. Regular hating people is just like hate them. It's not the same. It's really not the same. So, yeah, but I had a crazy childhood. Very religious. So I'm gonna talk about that. There's gonna be like a million trigger warnings. So like, don't really let your kids watch my podcast. I'm gonna do my absolute best to keep my profanity and base humor to a minimum. Although it's really unfortunate. This painting behind me, I'm not gonna call out what it looks like, but me and my 5-year-old painted that, and it has to go because on camera it is no bueno. So I'm gonna be repainting that immediately. This may not even make it onto YouTube because of this and that. And this is exactly what my boss and I were talking about in terms of optics. So, forgive me. At some point, I'm just gonna have to start posting though. You know? I can repaint over that some real quick. I have to talk about where my shame around athletics really comes from. And to understand this, you need to know a few things about my mother. She is an athlete, so volleyball player, state champion, 2 years in a row, athletic. She also has a laugh that people have compared to a demon, or said that maybe she had a demon because of her laugh. Okay. When you have been laughed at for your running and your athletic ability your entire life by someone who is an athlete, you get a little bit of a complex about it. And that's where some of the tension and competitive edge comes through, because that was never anything that I was good at. And then I got really sick and she felt bad. Then I couldn't. But this is my mother. Like, the baby, I know he's huge, but he's like probably not even a year old right there. And she's just like about to sling him out of this tire swing, just chilling. It's my mom. So, yeah, she basically just had a baby. Yeah. So there's that. One time she tried to throw a set of keys to me. We were at a gas station, and this was crazy because the distance she was throwing this set of keys, a really heavy, like FU size wad of keys, was a full-on underhanded arc that was probably 25 feet, right? And in my panic of, not being able to catch them, I didn't think about the fact that if you catch a gob of keys in your bare hand, it's gonna actually like cut your palm all up. But because my mom and she's throwing them to me, I can't just let them hit the ground. So I go for it, just full on, and catch this set of keys and just shred my hand. And then she laughs at me because she was like, I threw those from way too far. You should have just let them hit the ground. And I was like, well, in hindsight, yeah, but I couldn't do that in front of you. And then she laughed even harder because she knew how true that was. So, yeah, it kind of comes from her, of course, my mother. Everybody can blame mom. That's what they're for. That's what our lot is like. So, yeah. And then I have an autoimmune disease. So I don't suffer from it anymore. But I was really sick from like 10, right before I turned 11, through like 13, 14. And so in 6th grade, this was the first year I got to go back to public school because I was so sick I had to be home. I really didn't do any school hardly at all. I don't remember doing any school. I remember watching a lot of soap operas and Oprah and Ellen, game shows. Yeah, so anyway, homeschool is great. So I'm back in school. It's the 6th grade, and my teacher kind of warned everyone, like, don't mess with this one. I know she looks like normal, but she's not, and like she's getting around funny, and like You're going to want to have questions. Be careful with her because you can't knock her down. You know, she has a lot of health problems, and you know, she can't fall, she can't get out in the sun, she can't play like rough, like don't push her, don't touch her, like just kind of gave them this riot act about the ways in which they had to handle me, which was probably good on one hand because people were really nice to me, but it also set me up to just be like this pitiful person in a lot of people's eyes. And, you know, it kept me protected, but it also kind of othered me. And there was this other kid kind of in our switch classes class, and his name was Alfred, and he lived on my bus route, which I was the second to the last stop on the bus route. And it was like mercifully so, because no one ever saw our house except for this one girl who was like in just as bad of shape and poverty as we were. And so the rest of the bus route was a long drive, like an hour and a half till we got home. But Alfred was one of the first ones on our route to be dropped off, and he lived at this children's ranch. And so it was like kind of a halfway house, or like a home for teens in the foster system, or tweens in the foster system, or boys really. I don't know how wide or far that umbrella expanded, but he had been in foster care for a long time, was obese and really unliked, and had a really unlikable persona. And that's definitely what he projected, was like a stay away from me kind of vibe. And people wanted to, you know, they were like, good, great. So we're in PE, and I don't have to participate in anything in PE, but sometimes I like to go just for the social interaction of it and kind of seeing what everybody else is doing. It's the fun part of the day, so I'm not missing out on any tea or potential fun that I could be having. And we're playing dodgeball. Earlier, what I was talking about was kickball. This is dodgeball. Kickball is like kind of like baseball. This is why I'm not on the team. Okay, I don't even know what it's called. So this is dodgeball. We're in the gym. It's a rainy day. Everybody's inside. Everyone is giving it their all. For some reason, I'm meandering along the gym. Am I playing dodgeball? It would seem so by the location of where I was at in my memory when said crash occurs. I'm kind of going across. Alfred sees a ball and is lunging, right? Does not see me. Completely wipes me out. Like, we collide and slide across this slick concrete like seals on ice. And it was the most bone-crushing fall that I had had to this point. Okay, keep in mind, I have a muscle disease that causes rheumatoid arthritis as one of the symptoms. Okay, when I tell you that getting crashed out by a 180-pound, 200-pound sixth grader is insane. But the worst thing that happened was the absolute look of hatred in Alfred's eyes for me while he struggled to get off of me, because the entire classroom, 2 classes worth of kids, swarmed on him like he did it on purpose. You know, like somehow he had broken the porcelain doll on purpose. And he hated me so much. The 2 people in the room who wanted to be seen the absolute least, who wanted to stand out for being weird the absolute least, have this insane collision. And I don't even know why I was out there, because I 100% should not have been. Like, dodgeball is not the kind of sport to be sending some kid with some problems out there to play. It's just not. Okay? I said what I said with authority. Do with that what you will. So yeah, Alfred. And sometimes I think about it and I'm still like, oh my God, that was so embarrassing for both of us. Yeah, so me and athletics, we just don't mix, you know? We don't. I like games. I can play cornhole, low pressure, you know? Something I can do. But don't put me out there like that. I just can't. What else? I haven't I ran myself to the point of exhaustion, but I'm doing so much better. What else was I gonna mention? Something kind of STEM that I forgot to elaborate on earlier and probably should. I'm really happy. I haven't been really happy in a really long time. And I just can't wait to see what happens next, you know? And I'm trying to do my best to live in the present and keep taking my little one step at a time toward whatever this is that I'm doing here. I need to get down to some editing. I have a super busy week ahead of me. I'm completely moving out of my old place and fully embracing my new life, selling a car tomorrow, doing all kinds of business. So I'm excited for all of that too. Because the doors that need to close are closing, and the ones that are going to open are going to open. And I'm excited for all of it because I've just been trying to manifest this beautiful life for myself that I always believed was supposed to be mine. You know, I just never took the right steps toward getting it. Plenty of reasons why, and not any reason to like go back and think about it too much. You know, I got some good advice from kind of a bad person the other day, and he was just like, "You're thinking about this way too much. Just don't even, it already happened. Whatever it was, don't think about it so much." And I thought, wow, like, you're kind of a piece of shit, but that was still good advice, you know? Don't judge where you get your messages from the Lord. Like, just accept them. Like, it doesn't matter what the vessel is, just receive it. I think I'm going to stop for tonight and do my skincare and figure out how I'm going to stop fidgeting while I do this, maybe. And figure out how I'm going to get people to come here. I'm boring the shit out of myself right now, not gonna lie. I'm gonna stop. But I don't know, I just want to tell you all about crazy stuff in my life, you know? My whole family almost got completely murdered by a crazy person. I've driven next to a tornado, like, for miles and miles and miles from Oklahoma to Texas, like, right alongside the highway, just ripping up cotton fields. My mom finding out that my grandpa was in the KKK. Like, what? You know? just crazy stuff, all this pioneer stuff. So if you're interested in Texas history at all, that'll be part of what I want to talk about, is my family on all sides. Really, it's fascinating. So I could be in the Daughters of the American Revolution if I wanted to, from my dad's side of the family, which is cool in and of itself, just to say that. But my mom's side of the family was one of the original 300 settlers of Texas, which I know more intimately, like that history, just because I've lived amongst them. And so the characters that relate to all of that, I knew some of them. Not the 300 years ago ones, but the 300 years ago, bro, abandoned ship, abort. 300 years ago, the original 300 were not alive. But my great grandmother did walk from Arizona to Texas while her dad helped build the Orient Railroad. And so she walked behind a covered wagon and got married in, I want to say 1924 or 22, something like that. Yeah, so a lot of cool stories there about all of them. Just wild, crazy people, lots of mental illness, lots of violence, lots of abuse, and just craziness. The Great Depression, we'll talk about that. Adultery, mental illness, religion, just you name it, baby, I got it. Like, we can talk about it. So I will be revealing more personal stories in a more organized fashion until I start talking to other people about their lives, which will be dope, because while I do have a lot to say, I don't know how much stamina I have for talking to the back of this phone. I think it's probably a lot, and it's gaining, honestly, because I think I'm going to love doing this. And, I never would have thought, I felt like I was so off track for so long. Like, I just hadn't followed the thread of any of the ideas that I had for myself, like, not fully. And then to come along and kind of be like 43 years old going, what I wanted to do wasn't even a thing. What I maybe am supposed to do wasn't even a thing when I was in my 20s. There would have been other ways to get here before now, especially to get to the starting point before now. I'm all talking about it like I'm already successful, but I've been manifesting, so I am. I think that's how that works. So yeah. When I think about like who I want to talk to and what I want to talk about, everything, everyone, that's what I want to talk about. That's who I want to talk to. People are fascinating. And I feel like so many people have something to offer and have these just incredibly deep, rich experiences, and we're all having them, and we're just brushing past each other all the time. But we're all having them, and I want to know about it. It makes people uncomfortable sometimes, though. But at least, like, if you purposely come on here, you know that I might make you uncomfortable just by existing, because I feel like I like to look deeply into things and people in a loving way, for the most part, depending on who you are, I guess. Ooh, I guess we'll find out. Anybody want to try it? No. Nobody? Not yet? Okay. It's still cringe? Got it. Okay. Perfect.